Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. So as y'all can see, we spent a lot of our time yesterday during the pouring rain canning. So I need to get these jars, the rings off of them, the jars washed down and everything packed away. And then I'm going to show y'all a yummy crockpot soup that we're going to make. The rain has brought in all the cold weather, so we need something yummy and warm and the chance to let us get some chores outside done that we didn't get done yesterday. So we're going to wash these and put them all away. Well, time has gotten the best of me today, so instead of making our crockpot cheeseburger soup, we're going to try and switch it to pressure cooker because I need to get dinner going pretty quick. So we're just going to dump it all in, set it, and come back and add the second part in the saute mode. So the first thing we're going to add in is about 4 cups of diced russet potatoes. You can also use hash browns for this. They work perfect, like the frozen hash brown thingies. Those work perfect as well. It comes out to be about 4 small russets, or maybe about 2 like big russets, if that's what you have. Also adding in a medium onion chopped up. We're going to add in about a ½ cup of celery. And this is just from my freezer stock. Sound like a broken record, I'm sure, with that. I'm going to add in a cup of shredded carrots. They sell these at the grocery store already shredded up too. Oh, I have 2 kind of chunky ones. They'll be fun. But they sell these at the grocery store pre-shredded too if you don't want to have to shred and do all that. And it's not terribly expensive. It's a little more than what they are whole, just like they would, I mean, anything would be. And then we need a teaspoon of basil. And we'll need a teaspoon of parsley. Now for me, the parsley just kind of gives it that green color. We're going to add in 3 cups of beef broth. I'm going to set this to high pressure and we're going to cook it for about 4 minutes. It will be, it should be nice and soft. Now, I'll leave the original slow cooker recipe. All of this, if you're doing it in slow cooker mode or crockpot mode, you'll do exactly what we just did and set it to high for 3 or 4 hours. And then you'll come back and do the next step we're going to do. Or you would set it to low for about 6 to 8 hours. But we only have about 45 minutes before we need to get dinner on the table. So we're going to set it to pressure cook instead. So high, and we'll go down to just 4 minutes. Make sure it's sealing. When it gets done, we'll do a quick release and move on to our next step of things. So our carrots and our potatoes and everything are all cooked. We did a quick release, which just means turning that valve from sealing to venting and letting it come out really quickly instead of slowly. And that really depends on your recipe. If you have anything with milk or something like that, you want to let it do the slow release. Otherwise, you'll end up with a frothy mess. But we're adding in a pound of ground beef that I've already cooked up. Now, I just cooked this up the other day. I made a couple pounds all at once. So that's why it's cold and you got to kind of pull it out of the bowl. And we're going to add in a pound of velveeta that I've cubed up. That's the little 16-ounce box. Splashing. Add in a cup of half and half and a cup of milk. If you don't have half and half, you just have milk. You can use 2 cups of milk. You just might need to thicken it up a little bit later. Which you can do that with some cornstarch or even just make like a little flour roux. That'll help. I do have this on a medium saute so it can melt that cheese and heat up the milk. And then a can of diced tomatoes with the juices and all. If you like spice, then Rotel is super yummy too. I'm just trying to avoid, my sister's going to love the spice for this, but the kids will not want the Rotel. And they're kind of over me using Rotel this week. We've had it in 2 or 3 other dishes. So they want to lay off the spice. I'm going to add in just a little bit of pepper, maybe about a half a teaspoon. And then after the cheese and everything melts down, we'll come back and taste it before we add any more or any salt. And see if we need to add anything else to it. So we're just going to let this simmer for a few minutes. It won't take long at all for that cheese to melt because it's still pretty warm from cooking. Okay, y'all. So soup is essentially all done. This next step is optional. I love cheese and I love things super cheesy. So I add in 2 cups of cheddar cheese at this point. But if that seems like a little bit too much cheese to you, you can skip this step. But it makes it nice and stringy and cheesy and ooey goodness. And you can add it in at the very end right before you serve it because it will melt really quickly into it. And it doesn't need any additional like heating time. So we're going to serve it up. I think I'm going to go ahead and make some stuffed biscuits to go with this, just because it seemed like the perfect kind of side dish to it. And we had garlic toast last night, so I don't want to do the same thing again. So we're going to make some stuffed biscuits to go along with this. And I'll leave a link to my stuffed biscuit recipe if y'all want to see how to make those. But dinner is all ready. Thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.